Slack now has 8 million users, 8 million daily active users, 3 million paid users, 70,000 paying teams, 65% of Fortune 100 companies.
Yeah, it's not what I expected. And the potential seems like unlimited.
So what are the goals now that you far outpaced your own expectations?
Well, I mean, I think we're unbounded in terms of opportunity, and we're unbounded in terms of resources. And the market is just way bigger than we thought. You know, there are ex-China, maybe 200 million people in the world who will inevitably be using Slack or something like Slack. So we don't necessarily win, but the advantages are just so big that everyone will eventually switch. And there's 100,000 plus people using Slack every day inside of IBM. But there's also like farms and dentists' offices and like small tax preparers. There are police departments using it. There's like the Norwegian Department of Welfare and Labor uses it. Almost every academic research lab here in San Francisco, UCSF, Berkeley, Stanford uses it. It's used inside the federal government. It's, you know, like the range of utility was way greater than we thought when we first got started.
So you've raised hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
And in the past you said it was easy money, you didn't need it. Is it that easy to raise now? Or have economic conditions changed?
Certainly not for us. I mean, I think what's happened is there's really been this increasing separation between the most successful company and sometimes the most successful companies in a category and everyone else. The VC markets still seem pretty hot, just in the broad sense. I worked through the dot-com crash. I literally personally held shares in Lehman Brothers over the weekend that they went bankrupt. I didn't think that stocks could go to zero, but they can go to zero. So I'm conscious of the cycle.
So you're holding it for a rainy day?
Yeah, and I think it's a great hedge against a significant change in market conditions.
Slack is dramatically changing the future of work. In many ways, Slack increases flexibility, but it also means we're connected to work all the time. Do you think about the irony of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think about all this stuff. If you're a company or an organization that has really serious cultural problems, using Slack can exacerbate it. Like, it can actually make it worse. If you're a company that has really healthy patterns of communication, and there's a high level of trust and a high level of respect, using Slack can make it even better. The thing I think is really interesting about the future of work is you look at people and their individual functional roles today versus like, you know, a few decades ago, and they are just massively more powerful in their ability to get things done. But where we haven't seen as dramatic an improvement, and what ends up being the limiting factor on performance, is communication. How difficult or hard it is to gain the kind of alignment you need, because the difference between the best and the worst performing teams is like far greater than the best and the worst performing individuals. But we've concentrated most of our effort on like individual worker productivity and time management skills and like life hacks and to-do lists, getting things done and stuff like that, and far less on what is probably the more important thing to change is like the degree of transparency, clarity around goals, trust, respect, alignment. The output there can be an order of magnitude or several orders of magnitude greater.